Welcome to ICE Education, the only education that matters. So today we'll be doing some math integration by changing orders. Okay, what are the first step? Let's say you are given such a function. What does this stand for first? The limit that you see here stands for dy. The one that you see here stands for dx. So if we want to change the variable, what does it mean? It simply means they want you to solve for the integration now. Instead of going dy dx, you need to go dx dy. But anyway, I will explain how it is done both ways. So this simply means, if you have to write like this, it simply means you've got y equal x. You've also got the curve y equal root x. You also have the equation of x equals 0 and also x equal 1. What is the first thing when you need to change the variable that you need to do? The first thing is to plot your graph. Okay, here's the graph. You have x-axis and you've got y-axis. We know that the line y equal x is a straight line passing at the origin 0, 0. So basically, if I can represent it, I can just show a straight line passing at the center here. Now, what is the line? What is the graph of y equal with x? Y equal with x, it is simply, we can represent it otherwise. You can call it x equal y square, because if you can bring the equivalent y equal with x, if you square both sides, you come with the conclusion of x equal y square. So x equal y square, it is the curve passing at 0 but going in the direction of x. Like, what do I mean by that? Going like this, cutting, cutting like this. This is y equal root x, and this is y equal x. Now, what is happening here? I'm pretty sure you also know, when let's say you have y equal x squared, how do we represent it? It's simply represented like this. So x equal y squared is basically the opposite. It goes this way. So this goes on, if I can say x-axis, this goes on the y-axis. So yeah, just a small reminder. So here we go. Now, what is the next thing to do? The next thing to do is to plot x equals 0, which is 0, x equal 1. If you see x equal 1 is a point, the limit point also here. Also, there's also something, you can prove that these are the limit point, but how do we do that? Sometimes we are given integration not in this form. You can be given, let's say, y equal x, y equal root x, and they say change the variable, or change the order. How do you work out to find the touching point, guys? Basically, you equate y. You know that y equal y, you'll have x to be equal to root x. So definitely, if you square both sides, you'll have x squared to be equal to x. If you bring x on the other side, I mean this side, you'll get x squared minus x equal to 0. We take x as common factor, you have x minus 1. So this actually justify it. You will have 1 to be x equals 0, which is the first point of intersection, and also x equal 1, because x minus 1 is 0, therefore x is equal to 1, which is the next point of intersection, which justify what is happening here. I hope we are on the same page. Now, very, very important. We had dx dy, dx. How do we move from dx dy? So what you do is you need to find first the enclosure, the bounded area where both curves are meeting. We can all see this is the bounded area. This is where we are dealing. Now, what is happening? I'll use a different color to make the difference. What you have to do when you go with dx dy, it is very, very, very simple. You simply have to look which function is on the left and which one is on the right. As I can see here, I can see that y equal with x is on the left, and let me increase the color here. Y equal with x is on the left, we can see it here, and y equal x is on the right. So you first go function on the left to function on the right. So what does it mean? Now, this is what's going to happen, guys. If I want to change my order, I will be moving like this from what is the function on the left and what is the function on the right. The function of the on the left is y equal x, and the function on the right is y equal root x. Now, how do we deal with that? Because you are going with the x dy, x should be subject of the formula. What does it mean? The function on your left will be your lower limit. So it's gonna start by what? Y. Now, your upper limit will be the function on the right, which is what? Y. Ooh, let me erase. I think there's a small misunderstanding here. Here we go. Function on the left. Which one is the function of the left? It is y equal root x, as we can see here. Now, what is happening here? Because we are going dy, the x dy, x should be subject of the formula. So how can I make x subject of the formula? Simply by squaring both sides. So if I square this side, I will have y squared to be equal to what? X. That's why my lower limit here would be y squared. And my upper limit is the function on the right. My function on the right here is y equal x. So because we are going the x dy and x should be subject of the formula, the upper limit will be y. Now you need to solve for the limit on dy. How does it work? You take the first point of intersection, which is 0, which should be your lower limit. Now you take the last point of intersection now on the y-axis. So how do we do that? If you want to solve for that point, you simply take this one, you substitute in any of these equation. If you substitute here, x by 1, y will be equal to 1. If you substitute x by 1 here, root 1 will still 1. So that's why you see here, we still have 0 and 1. Now, what is happening here? We call our function x squared plus y squared. Now, we write it in terms of dx dy. So we have basically changed the order. So let's solve the integral. Before I solve it, let's say we want to bring it in this form, right? In dy dx, looking at the graph. Now, if you want to bring it in terms of dy dx, you always go function at the bottom to function on top. So when you look, what is your function at the bottom? Your function at the bottom is y equal x. Because we are writing in terms of dy dx, y should be subject of the formula. That's why in this case, our lower limit will be x, because this is the function of the bottom, and function on top will be root x. Now, first point of contact is 0. Last point of contact on the x is 1. That is the reason that justify this. This is how you write it, if you can recall it by using the graph. Now you have dy dx. Now what is happening here? We can use both ways, we're still gonna end up with the same answer, but let's first solve using this one on top here. Let's solve it, guys. Okay, my good people, let's go. I'm gonna recall it. Let's say we have integration from 0 to 1, y squared to y, x squared plus y squared dx dy. Now, here is how it works. Because we are integrating in terms of x, everything that is not x here will be taken like a constant. Let's go here. First we have 0, 1. Now we are integrating. Look at how I'm writing. X, because it is the x, is going to be x3 by 3. Now it's going to be xy squared. Now you've got y squared. Now I write dy because I'm about to substitute the limit of dx. So can we solve it together, guys? You will see. We've got 0, 1, upper limit minus lower limit. Upper limit, I will have y to the power 3 over 3 plus where this x is substituted by y times y square times y square minus lower limit will be now we've got y square multiply by 3 everything by 3 minus y square times y square. Now everything dy. So let's do the math here and see what's going to happen here. We still got 0, 1. So we've got y cube over 3. Y times y square gives plus y 3 minus, we are here, we've got y 2 times 3, y 6 over 3 minus, is that a minus here? This is plus. This is a plus here. So we about that. Plus y square times y square, which gives y4. Now dy. Now what is happening here? Now we have everything in terms of y. We can get the final answer. So the final answer, this we can call it, it depends. It can be a volume or area, depend on what is being asked on the question. What was asked here? They just said evaluate. So yeah, let's just evaluate. Now, in terms of dy here, what we're going to have here, the integration here will simply be, let me write it like this, it will be y4 over 4 times 3 down here, plus y4 over 4 minus of the formula, y7 over 3 times 7 plus y5 over 5. If you don't remember, integration of, let's say, of x to the power n, it is simply x n plus 1 over n plus 1. So the power here goes plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So if we can rewrite it together, what we'll be having here is simply can write y4 12 plus 1 over 4. I'm substituting the upper limit. So 1, 12 like this, 1 over 4 minus 1 over 3 times 7 is which one? Plus 1 over 5. Normally we're supposed to do like this and we go minus lower limit, but the lower limit will be 0. Because when you substitute 0 throughout here, it will give you 0. So if we substitute here at the end of the day, we should get our answer. 1 over 4 minus 1 over 21 minus 1 over 5. If you do this calculation, you're definitely going to get our integration. So the most important thing that I wanted to do today was to show you how to change the order of the integration. So guys, please don't forget to subscribe and share. If you have any question, ask in the comment. I'm always available. I'll answer them. Yeah, thank you.